Well, we're getting a clearer picture on this chance of rain for Thursday. It is still there, and we could be looking at perhaps an inch of rain by the later part of this next coming week. Let me show you the storm and also continue to go into a little bit of the background for why this storm out here is going to be problematic from a forecast standpoint. First of all, it looks great out here now. Beautifully put together. You can see the cold front. That's that long line in the clouds. Center of the low sitting right here, spinning beautifully. This is satellite imagery from the last 8 hours. You can see the day-night divider as we go to sunset. All right, now we're going to put it into the futurecast, and we're just going to look at the rain. And what you're going to see show up here is you're going to see this little band of rain right here that's going to get cut off from everything else and just kind of sit out there in the middle of the Pacific. That took us all the way ahead to Monday. See the timestamp there? You know how great your weekend's going to be? Sunny and 10 degrees above average. There is nothing over California from now till then. All the while, this thing is still sitting out here. And from Monday, that's Monday actually, at midnight, I'm going to play that forward and watch 2 days worth of forecast imagery. Still just sits there and wobbles around, doesn't do anything, trying to figure out what its place in the world is. It is a cutoff low. And what we mean by that, when we say it is a cutoff low, in order to visualize that, it would help to take a look at the wind streams, because you can see how that pretty much determines everything about the direction and the path of a storm. There's our little low, right? We're picking the story back up on Monday. We're well aware that that's going to be sitting where it is. But what you didn't see was the actual storm track itself, which this thing got so tightly wound up, it cut itself off from it. And the storm track up here, as we go into this week, is going to be racing across the northern tier of the country and then delivering a very intense cold snap to the eastern U.S. Meanwhile, our little storm sits out here without any direction in life. By the time we get to Thursday, it's going to get nudged on shore, and then that's when it has an impact here at us. Let's look at it two ways. We're going to take it from Tuesday at 5 o'clock, which is what we're looking at on the timestamp, and we'll play it forward so that we bring it on shore. And this now looks better today from an organizational rainfall standpoint than it did in the models yesterday. That's a good slug of moisture coming our way on Thursday. That's one forecast model. That's the American model. Let's take a look at what the European has to say, because that also can give us a little more detail in this format. We can slow it down and look at pertinent time zones of when the rain comes through. There's your start, and here's the main event at this point, Thursday morning. Now remember the challenge with this system. It's a cutoff low, and those are notoriously difficult in forecast models. This could change. There's good agreement now in the forecast model, so we like seeing that, and it's good to start thinking ahead to Thursday right now as widespread rain coming through from this system. But we know from test cases and looking at historical situations that are very much like this cutoff low, it can change wildly, even from now till then. Let's get this within 48 hours. Let's look at this again on Monday and Tuesday. If it still looks like that on Monday, confidence level is going to go way up. As it stands now, confidence level is higher now. Plan on rain on Thursday. And what appears to be a somewhat more positive change, or at least update into this forecast, is it looks like we're going to be able to bracket it to just Thursday. That's where the bigger question marks come in, because this thing could linger into Friday and Saturday. You still need to think there's a chance of rain going into Friday and Saturday. If you look at the grand total here, this is one forecast model's depiction of what the totals could look like, and that's pretty decent. It's about an inch of rain or a little more in the North Bay, 3/4 of an inch of rain everywhere else. Perhaps confined just to Thursday, or I think more likely spread out across the course of about 3 days or so, on again, off again showers from Thursday, perhaps into Saturday. That's where the real fun of forecasting cutoff lows comes in. For right now, we're going to call it Thursday, and we're going to say, stay on top of this. If Friday and Saturday really matter, they are vulnerable to seeing this system slow down, change its mind, or do something different in those models. And again, Tuesday's when we really start refining it. I'll see you with more on this in the next half hour. Andre, over to you.